Hi, my name is Ramna. My personal blog is .netiq.com. If you want to receive my latest videos, updates on your Facebook wall, please go to the .netiq.com. Right side you see a Facebook like button. And coming to today's topic, few of the important C# keywords we are going to discuss. Those are like constant, read-only, ref, out, new, override, and virtual. These are the keywords. Yeah. The first one I'm going to pick the set of like constant and read only. These two keywords I'm going to cover. Means if you are specifying any variable as a constant, means that value of the variable is never change inside the application. That is going to be constant. The word itself saying that is a constant, it's never change inside the application. How we declare a constant is define a constant is basically constant. You can define only the variable types, means the value types only you can define, like integer, long, day, means any value type variables only you can define the constant. So use the const keyword and the variable type and variable name and assign the value. You can assign a value at the time of the declaration, you cannot assign in anywhere else. And another important thing is whatever the value you set, this value is going to set at the compile time. This value is going to store inside the DLL and inside the exe. If it is exe, it's going to inside the exe. If it is DLL, inside the DLL. I'm going to show you how means how we can check that inside the DLL or exe. And you cannot make the constant as a static because the static nature is different, and the constant, the value, the storing is different. So we cannot specify the constant variables as a static. The another thing is, another keyword is the read only. The read only is basically, it sounds like a constant, means once if you variable as a read only you cannot change the value. That sounds like you cannot change the value, means it's restricting you to value assignment. Basically here the my integer j is the read only, and you can assign the value of the j at the time of the declaration, like variable declaration, or you can assign the value inside the constructor. These are the only two places you can assign a value for the read only variables. Nowhere else you cannot assign the value to the read only variable. And the value assignment and everything is happening at the runtime. There is no difference with the regular variables and read only variables, the memory allocation wise and other ways. Only the difference is the value assignment. Okay. And I just compile this. I'm compiling one more time this exe, and I'm using the reflector to show the constant value inside the exe. So go to the constant read only example. This is the class name, and variable name is I. Public constant I equal to 10. If you see any other variables, you cannot see the value. Means any other variables, if you try to means if any existing application, try to open in reflector and see that any other variables you cannot see the value assignment inside the DLL or exe. The only for the constant you can see that. So read only, if you see this integer j equal to 10 I assigned here. I am just running a simple example. I created an instance of that class and passing as a 12 to the constructor, so that earlier it is j value is 10. The moment you pass the 12, the j value is going to overwrite to 12 for the read only variable. I am showing this. See that 10 and 12. Yeah, coming to our another set of keywords is ref and out. Basically ref and out, they sounds the same kind of, they do the similar kind of job, but we know that any method, the input parameter we pass, the input parameter is maybe either reference type or value type. The reference type means any object you create an instance and passing the object means object as a, you can pass that object as a input parameter, we call it as a reference type. Any other value types like integer, bool, or means double, long, string, or anything you pass, those are the value types. In that case, you are just passing another copy of that value. So in the only in the objects as the reference type, of when you pass the object as the input parameter, you are basically passing the address of the object. But in the case of the value types, you are passing another new copy of that value. So if you want to make value type as a reference type, like the value type variables address, if you want to pass to the to as an input parameter to your method, then you can use the ref keyword. If you use the ref keyword in front of the any value type, then whatever the integer means whatever the variable you pass, here you are passing the that variable address, not the copy of the value. So that is the advantage of the basically the ref keyword. Then what is the difference between what is the out keyword is doing? Basically the ref is going to what means if your method is taking as a ref of any variable type, that means that variable, like here it is an integer, that integer must be declared and assigned with some value, then only you can pass that variable as an input parameter. But coming to the out, it's not needed. Means out you can just pass any variable and without declaring, inside that method is going to get assigned that variable. I'm going to show you some example, that way you can easily understand. I just done some minor changes in my ref out class. uh, this is the method I'm going to call. So my input parameter is a reference of int I, and I'm just printing before assigning the value. um, Whatever the value I got, I'm just printing here, and after that I'm just assigning a new value 15 to that variable. So go to the programs. Here I declared a integer I, and default value I assigned as 7, and I created instance for the ref out and calling the method and passing this I integer variable. Remember, so earlier, if suppose if it is the input type is not the reference type, then if you pass the I, it is going to pass a new copy of the I. So even inside the I you assign, but it won't change the I value. But since you are you are passing the reference of the I, that means you are passing the address of that I. So after this method execution, your I is going to change to 15. That's what we are expecting. See, before it is 7 and after it is 15. That means that it takes the reference and change the source value. So, and one more thing is, for example, if you didn't assign any value to this I, and if you try to pass that, the compiler won't allow you. Compiler will throw an error, because if the moment you define that the method is a reference, the moment you define it as a reference, and if you are trying to pass any variable without declaring, means without assigning a default value, it won't allow you. And if it is a out, you don't need to assign any value, just directly pass the variable without defining a default value, then it will take. That is the main difference for the out and reference. The another important thing is, I will show you the out case inside my programs, inside my ref out. I have a method called out method, and it is taking the out variable as the input parameter. And the important thing is, the out method is, if any means a variable type out, if defined as out with any variable, you must assign some value to that variable. Otherwise, the compiler will throw an error, because see, the moment I comment that it's going to must assign a before control leaves the current method, because in the out case, you no need to define a default value for the any variable before you pass to the method. I'm going to show that here. So remember, if any method expecting as out variable as input parameter, that variable must be assigned some value inside the method. Go to the program files, and here my int I just removed that default value, so you didn't see any value assigned for the I, and I created the object instance for the ref out class, and calling the out method with passing this I as the input parameter. And make sure if your object is expecting out or reference type, you specify the same keyword over here also. If it is out, you specify out. If it is a ref, it should be specify the ref. And I'm just printing the same value. Means inside I'm assigning to 10. I'm going to expect the 10 is the, see, 10 and 10. Sorry. And I'm going to cover next as the new, override, and virtual. These are the keywords I'm going to cover. In inheritance means that the base class, inside the base class, if you want to allow your derived classes to override any method, you must specify that method as a virtual keyword. So if you any method you specify as a virtual inside your base class, that method is going to override, means if that method can be override inside your derived classes. So here my derived class is class name is a subcl subclass, and in the base class I have a method called say hello, and I specified that method as a virtual method. So I can override using the override keyword, and I'm just giving the same method name. So I'm overriding the same say hello method, and overriding with my then derived class behavior. Basically inside it has a just a console.writeLine two statements, base class hello and subclass hello. I'm just creating the instance for the subclass, and I'm calling the say hello. If in general, if suppose there is no say hello method in subclass, it is going to call the base class say hello method. But since we override the subclass inside the subclass the say hello method, so this part is going to execute. This method is going to execute, and you see the subclass hello. See subclass hello Ramna. And even if you assign this object subclass object to the base class, still you see the subclass method is going to execute. See subclass method is going to execute because we override the base class method inside the subclass. Since the instance is the subclass instance, but even you assign that instance to the base class, but still it is calling the overrided method. So the moment means if you want to override, you want to allow any of your methods to override in your derived classes, then make sure you may specify that as a virtual keyword. Then for example, if there is no virtual keyword, means if you didn't specify any method as a virtual, but still your derived class wants to hide that base class method, then you can do that. How we can do is, if you see, I just taken out the virtual keyword, and I taken out the override keyword. The moment I compile this, I'm getting a warning. It's warning saying that use the new keyword if hiding was intended. That means that if you want to hide your base class method, since the base class didn't specify that method is a virtual, but still you don't want to use the base class method, and you want to hide that, it is recommending you to use the new keyword. But even you didn't use the new keyword, there is no harm, but you will get a warning. That is the only difference. So now if you go to the program, and I specified as a say the same, if the same method if I execute, I will get the base class method, because base class, even if the object is the subclass, but still assigned to the base class, and the base class method is going to execute because there is no virtual and override. We've taken out the virtual and override. And if suppose you want to say execute the derived class method, then you need to specify the assign that to subclass. Like here I'm changing to subclass. Now you see the subclass method is going to execute subclass hello Ramna. So you hide that base class method inside the subclass. The only difference is The you need to specify that method as a new. The new is officially you are saying that you are hiding the base class method in your derived class. Hiding is different and override is different. See, now after I compile, it's the warning is gone. So the no more the warning, you can see that. Now you cannot see the means the warning is gone basically. So the new keyword we are using to hide the base class method. The whenever the base class method is not a virtual method, in that case still you want to hide in your derived class, use the new keyword. And now go to the programs and execute this. See, it's a subclass method, but subclass method is executed because the object is the subclass. I hope I covered all the keywords, and in my next screencast I will come up with another interesting topic. Thank you. Bye.